There's 10 greatest books ever written, ever in life. And one of the greatest books ever written is Things Fall Apart by Chinua.
Okay.
Um, just because things exist in the cities does not mean they can, because they are too close now. It doesn't they cannot then exist anywhere else in the country. Doesn't mean they cannot exist in the rurals and in semi-urban areas. Because the people who are in the cities go home, and when they go back home, they are then the adults for the people at home, and then the people at home look
Oh,
at, and it can also be taught in that space at home. So these things coexist with each other, and for that matter, it means anyone can be found anywhere. And this culture does not only, because the same content that is being watched in cities is now going through to indoors, because they've got electricity now and they feel that like they're rated and they watch everything. And sooner or later, we're going to have a problem everywhere. The, the, the,
damn it.
the book is very important, and I would suggest anyone and everyone in this world to go back to that book every now and then, read it again, and realize that, because it's so relevant. What it does, just shortly, is a white man comes to a place where people exist. It's in Nigeria, where people exist and have their customs and values and rules and traditions that they perform, and they are living happily. A foreigner, which is a white man in this context, comes in and teaches them about what is more valuable in his life. They are ridiculous and laugh at him because they think there's no way possible that anyone can believe this. They let him stay because they see his dumb side, until a few people understand him and start listening to him. As soon as they realize that now a handful of people are listening and understanding him, they try to now get rid of the enemy, because they realize, Guti, this person who we thought was an idiot, a lot of people of our people are now listening to him. And they say, let's do away with him. One question prevails and says, we can kill him, it's fine, but what are we going to do with the people, with our people who are now understanding him and joined him? This is a situation where we could have done something with it before it was a pandemic. We let it because we thought no one's going to believe this, no one's going to do this. This is dumb. And now we've got a pandemic that we can't deal with because we let it stay with us for too long, and it became a problem. And now we have a problem. Before they knew it, the same white man who came and introduced Jesus to them when they had their own belief system and laughed at him, started introducing rules and law. And suddenly he built a church and he built a jail. Whoever didn't follow the church would go to jail. And suddenly there was law that was laid that governed them when they had their own ways of doing things. We are going into that situation as a nation where, because we have forgotten the first rule of Ubuntu, that I am because we are going into a situation where we can't reprimand each other, can't tell each other when things are, because we are so scared to communicate. Because Americans and the English have taught us that everyone who does things is at their own. It's unfortunate that people are doing their things in our space, well, where we are also supposed to exist, and we are not supposed to question that. And by the end of the day, we've got a lot of people who are following that trend. We can kill the people who started that, but what are we going to do with our kids who are also following suit? We have forgotten who we are, what makes us, and we've certainly forgotten that we're African. You are because I am.